Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. I do understand why people have the sort of pre-stream stream where it's like, oh, we're still getting ready. The stream will start soon. I don't know how to do that in OBS. I've not got a clue. But we are live.
Oh,
Uh,
I
I
had to
have
do
no
that
clue
once
how that works.
before for the local from Royale or whatever it was called. I don't remember how I did it since, but it's simply just instead of sharing your screen, it's you share different uh like will hide OBS sharing your screen, and you start sharing something else in OBS. It's a different like filter or something
mhm.
like that, and it's like a hotkey or something like that. You set and it'll automatically switch it from one to the other.
Well, see, that would be smart, and I should do that. But at any rate, welcome to episode number what is this? 265, live show 8 of the Terminus podcast. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. My pronouns are he, him. With me, I have two wonderful co hosts.
Hi. I'm Jacob Durbin. My pronouns are he and him. And good to be back. I haven't been here in a while.
We missed you.
I missed you guys too.
Hi, I'm East, pronouns he, him.
And
And I'm slightly EP.
oh, well, I was going to say, and he didn't miss us at all.
No, yeah, I've actually just been here in the background the entire time, controlling everybody like this, shadow government or something, aka
Yeah.
the Four Foamers.
The super PAC. Yeah, so this is our show about live train news. If you don't know what it is, that's what it is. And I need to make sure that the proper people are alerted, which I should get good at multitasking. This is a new year, new pod, right? This is going to be the format going forward, this live show format that we've done for the last 7 shows or so. And I'm going to drop a line to the world and say, here, podcast is on, followed by Locomotive versus post show if there's interest.
Can we do a
So,
Loco Royale if there's enough interest?
If there's enough interest, we can do a Royale. If we've got 2 or 3 people, we can play versus or Loco Dome. If we've got 4 people, we can play double headers. If we've got 5 people, we can play, we can play a Royale. It's all up to however many people show up. But of course, first we've got to do the news, the main part of the show part of the show. And to start, I've got to go through the Class 1 mantle of responsibility. One of these articles is a little bit more than a mantle piece. We will almost certainly be talking about it extensively later. It's the elephant in the room. It needs to be addressed. It's the interoceanic train derailment in Mexico, which happened on the 29th, which I believe was the same day as the last podcast. Or no, we got articles on it the day after, but it happened on the 28th. So there is that. We have 2 articles on that. The long and short of it is that there was a major derailment. It was a F-40s hauling SPVs. That was the equipment on this thing.
F-59.
Oh, F-59. And there were over a dozen people killed, many injuries. It looks horrendous. There was a lot of speculation that it was an avalanche. I don't know what the conclusion of that is. We can probably talk about it and wildly speculate later. But the other 2 incidents, the actual Class 1 incidents, are the CSX wreck that happened the following day on the 30th, or that we got notice of the following day on the 30th, which was a wreck in Kentucky, which looks pretty bad. There was a shelter-in-place order. It was near the Kentucky-Tennessee state line because there was a leak of molten sulfur from one of the cars. It really does look like, from the photo, that the entire train just hit a brick wall. Like, this is a real Looney Tunes pile-up. Thank goodness nobody was hurt, so I can say that. And, they were able to lift the shelter-in-place order not long after the incident actually happened. It was, well, I say not long, it was like 6 hours. not long in the grand scheme of things. Um,
Yeah.
Union Pacific derailed in Kingfisher County, also on the 30th. We don't have a staggering helicopter shot of this one. There were no fires or explosions or stay-at-home orders or even surrounding property damage. It seems to just have happened in the middle of a field, an auto rack train, and it's not clear if there are cars in the train. Um, well, actually, I see auto racks, I see hoppers. All of these links are available in the cargoes document, which is in the description of this episode of the show. So, if you're curious, if you want to check that out, that is the place to go. So, that's the mantle. CPKC retains the mantle as it's the class 1 that has had an incident least recently. We talked about a lot last episode about the reduction in the numbers of uh, reduction in the numbers of class 1s, making this less interesting. But we
need to bring back more class 1s.
I know we do need to bring it.
Yeah.
We need to start promoting class 2s actually. I'd like to start a promotion poll for FEC. We can go back to talking about Brightline every week.
I mean, the thing is, like, unironically, I think of all of the class 2s right now, the FEC would probably be one of the best ones to promote, simply because it already has to obey class 1 safety standards because of Brightline.
So you think it would be?
I didn't know that.
It's well, it's not necessarily class 1 standards, because I think there's what, like 8 level, like, because class 1 standards just signifies you need to have a higher level of track quality, but the track quality level itself is divided among, I think, 8 subcategories. And because Brightline hits 110 miles an hour, they have to obey the highest level of track quality, which I think class, like, it's 1 through 8 or something like that, and like a class 3 is like you can go 1 to 8. A class 2 has to be like 4 to 8 or 3 to 8 or something like that, and a class 1 is only like 6, 7, and 8.
6, 7.
You know, for the main line.
I said the thing.
We kick you off your own show.
I don't know if so, because you can definitely get away with lower classes. You just have to reduce the speed limit. I have the list in front of me.
Oh, speed limit. That's what it is.
I will say,
yeah.
just before we get into these very live contrived. Okay. Before we get into, whatever. I will say that this is a live show. You can call in with your railroad news if you're a part of our server, if you've got your fan rank. If you would like to become a part of the server and thus be able to get on the show whenever you like, you can join us using the ironhorseman.com/discord or the link in the description. That's ironhorseman.com/discord. We also have a Johnny Come Lately Curse of the Terminus sort of post. Oh, you know what? I can't see this group. There's an inaccessible link to BNSF incident that just got sent.
Oh dear.
We have a channel on our server which one can use to submit news to us that includes incidents and other news. And we have a decent compendium of stuff here in the last week or so that we can talk about. But track classes. I don't want to be super boring. But there's class 1 through, there's accepted, which is the lowest, right? You cannot go more than 10 miles per hour on accepted track, and that's with a freight train. Passenger trains are not allowed on accepted track. And then it goes classes 1 through 9. Class 9 is 220 miles an hour. The only example of class 9 track. Well, there is no functional example of class 9 track, but the California High-Speed Rail will have it. Class 6 is what Brightline runs on. That's a maximum of 110 for passenger and freight. And there are, as you go higher in the list, there are fewer things. Brightline also does have some class 7. Which
I was gonna say,
goes up to 125.
Is that the new track they built
the
for
Orlando.
Orlando, right?
Yeah. They should also have
They have
Class 8
Class
when
8.
they build the line to Tampa, because that I think is going to hit 150 miles an hour.
Oh wow.
They're projecting that, and by they I mean the all-knowing creators of Wikipedia articles. They're predicting that Brightline West will have Class 8 trackage, through parts of Nevada. That's a maximum of 160 miles an hour. But most everything you see on main lines is going to be like Class 4s, Class 4 and 5, maximum of 60 freight, or Class 3, which is maximum of 40 for freight, and 60 for passenger. The passenger numbers are generally a little bit higher, and they're different until you get to Class 6, at which point it's just all combined into one number. I swear to God, I feel like I've been on accepted track on a passenger train. You can run non-revenue passenger trains on accepted track. I'm not sure if that necessarily includes like heritage services, but I feel like I've been on accepted track in the middle of nowhere, Massachusetts, on the train that goes to Foxborough Stadium. They've done a lot of work on that route lately, but it used to be a real mess.
I want to say ours is at least 2, I think.
I cannot comment on this.
Don't quote me on it. I'm not a track guy.
East regularly is, East is wanted by the law for running passenger trains on accepted track.
No.
There are federal agents outside his house. I'm just looking at this. This is fun. So OpenTTD 15 just released. I don't know if either of you have messed around with that at all.
Mm-mm.
I know you've been messing with OpenTTD a little bit lately, East, but I don't know in what capacity. But for OpenTTD, there is a US track set that has all of the classes of track instead of just like low speed, medium speed, high speed. It's really neat. It is a really long list.
Yeah, the Japanese server I'm playing on has just about every track they can fit, including train tracks. Like there's just paths and stuff you can play as tracks.
Cool.
Because I think there's like horses and stuff you can use.
Oh, really?
But yeah, the track list is very long.
There is, I believe, a functional maximum of tracks that you can have. Don't get me started on the headache that I've had adjusting track sets for OpenTTD. I recently pulled down the save file for the previous OpenTTD server to kind of start messing with it and seeing what needed to be upgraded and what should be upgraded. But I won't mess with that anytime soon. I'm going to hold on. Let me both forward this to the public thread and see if I can get it up on screen. This is serious.
What is AC/DC next to the tracks? Is it electric?
It's the band.
No, it would be the electrics. Yeah, if you have AC or DC, because Japan is split 50-50. Well, not 50-50, like 40-60 on if it's AC power or DC power.
Oh.
Yeah, because
I'm
not sure we've played with a set that has that necessarily differentiates it because of the track sets we've been using. I think I intentionally removed that that difference. Oh, now I've got to throw this into place.
Wait, I just sent the better one.
Oh, you sent a better one? Okay.
High quality, yeah.
Is there more pixels? I appreciate that.
A lot more pixels.
Well, this is the opportunity. We were just talking about, the illegal things we do around trains, of course. If anybody, if either of you want to talk about your railroad museum shenanigans in a more serious sense, I welcome you to do it. If not, we could probably pick up one of these news stories and start talking about it while I pull this stuff up on screen.
I have a bit of a cautionary tale, I guess.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
That's the last time we heard from you. When you,
Ye-
ripped both of your arms off.
Well, I mean, that would have been, well, a lot more painful, and I probably wouldn't be sitting here.
Well, dude,
But
here's the question: have you reattached your arms?
yeah, Mars and I
Super glue.
super glued it. My arm, yeah, super glued my arms back on. I'm good now.
This we're not sponsored by Gorilla Glue, but always keep it in your your med kits.
Exactly.
Mars plastic cemented data. That's all they had around.
And so what exactly happened to you?
So, we showed up in the morning to run the last day of Santa Trains.
For
What?
for those who don't know, where do you volunteer?
Oh, right. I volunteer at the Pocket Valley Scenic Railway in Nelsonville, Ohio. I've been there, oh God, 7 years at this point.
Wow.
Yeah. Been there
So
7 years. I've done car hosting, brakeman. I got qualified as an engineer on diesel last summer. And then this year, now that the training process for steam firemen and then I think conductors as well is finally like formalized and written down. So I want to try to go for one of those this year if I can get my hours in. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if your bog standard tourist rare is the right term, but, I mean, we mainly run diesel trips on the weekends in the summer, and then from Thanksgiving to till right before Christmas, usually that weekend before Christmas, we're doing our Santa trains.
as is
And
every railroad museum in the world.
yeah, everybody does their Santa stuff then.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes money. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how many of our trains were sold out, but it was a lot.
So you rolled up to do the last weekend of Santa Trains.
Yeah, because I was gonna go down the weekend before, but we got a bunch of snow on Saturday, and uh, checked the we checked Mars and I checked the weather in the morning, and everything where I would need to go was a level 2 out of 3. So we decided that it wouldn't be a good idea. Not worth the risk to slide into a ditch or something just to go drive a train all day.
Mm-hmm.
So we went down on the 21st, and I mean everything seemed fine. Some members of the crew were already there. They got the engine started, put it on the train, and we put our stuff in the cab, and I go around to start doing pre-trip inspection, and I did everything except check the engine oil. So I go around to check the engine oil, and I'm trying to open one of the hood doors. There's the latch that's down by your foot, and then the one that's up above your head. I try to open the one above my head, and my right shoulder just pops right out of the socket.
Ugh.
Is it supposed to do that?
No.
It's not supposed to be like that.
Exactly. So it popped out, and I'm immediately thinking like, oh no, like can I push through this? I don't know if I can push through this. I limp back into the cab, and I tell Mars what's going on. Our brakeman already went back to start to start the brake test. He already went back, and what happened? Right.
And then you were like, no, I can't push through this, and went to the hospital. I hope, like, no.
Yeah. Well,
While
I was being stubborn because I wanted to, because like, okay, it's my right shoulder. I really don't use both hands all that much running, but thinking about it, yeah, I need both hands.
Yeah, I can drive with my
Uh,
left hand. It's fine.
yeah, I mean, it'd be slightly rougher train handling at that point, which I don't want to do. Um, but eventually, I was convinced to go to the hospital. So we brought the train up to the depot. Mars drove my car up there and met us there. Went to the ER, got it reset, but I haven't really done much train stuff since. I mean, I've played a little bit of Railroader, and then I got some commission stuff in uh, in a few days ago, but I haven't really touched it yet
With your right
because
hand.
my exactly. Um, like my shoulder is healing, but it's not to the point where I can have it. Like I have it out of the sling now, but I'm just sitting at my desk. It's fine
Well,
for that. But anything beyond that, I don't really want to have it out of the sling for more than maybe an hour at a time.
understandable. Yeah, I have never dislocated anything. I don't know how long it's supposed to take to recover and heal and everything like that, but it sounds absolutely miserable.
Well, generally, if you dislocate, I don't know how it is with like knees or something, but at least with shoulders, it's if you do it once, it's like it's more likely to happen again, and this is the third time with this shoulder.
Ooh,
Yeah. So, what? Not this week, but next week, I'm gonna go see an orthopedic doctor about it, and hopefully, I don't need surgery, but I'm not out of the woods yet.
well, I wish you luck, and I hope I hope you don't need surgery. I hope you can keep on trucking, and I guess just be careful about don't do that, right? Don't doctor, it hurts when I do this. You raise your hand over your head. Okay, well, don't do that.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but now we should probably talk about some kind of substantial news. Do either of you have anything in particular that pops out to you in the past week or so of well, stuff that we have articles for and stuff that we don't? And while you two ruminate on that, I'm going to say, of course, if you in the audience have a news item that you want to bring to the forefront that you want us to talk about, you can join us right now, theironhorseman.com/discord, and we will be more than happy to talk to you about that. Um, Folks with rank are naturally preferred. Somebody says, I haven't had any railroad related injuries yet, although I nearly got stung by yellow jackets while clearing brush from a siding.
Oh God,
Yeah, well, that's the railroad adjacent, right?
that's close enough. Yeah, ouch. Good thing they didn't actually get stung.
Yeah, no, that almost is better than almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, right? Um, I did have something. Uh, if either of you don't, something from the news that piqued my interest. Although I'm not really
I've
sure how I think about it.
got nothing. I've been very out of the loop.
That's okay. That's why we have the wonderful viewers to provide us with things to talk about.
Goodbye, viewers like you. Thank you.
Exactly. Uh, this is the first time I've heard this nickname. Do either of you know who I mean when I say the Oracle of Omaha?
Nope.
No.
Apparently, that's a nickname for Warren Buffett. So, the Oracle of Omaha is relinquishing his title of CEO of Berkshire Hathaway uh, at the ripe young age of 95.
Jeez. Oh God, I just had a funny idea. If his nickname is Oracle of Omaha, can we call him Wizard of Oz?
I I got a wicked ad when I opened this article.
Hell yeah.
uh, but yeah, there's like a short biography of Warren Buffett in here, and I don't know much about the guy. The guy has more money than God. Owns BNSF, which I don't know if he directly I don't know how exactly he's connected to it. I don't know if he owns it outright or if he is, you know, um, what's it called? Like, is he in the C-suite of BNSF, or is it just like part of his portfolio? Um, but yeah, I don't know how this is going to affect. If he's stepping down from Berkshire Hathaway, I don't know if is BNSF like down the tree from Berkshire Hathaway. Um, I didn't realize he owned See's Candy. Uh,
Hmm.
Berkshire's. Oh no, okay, so yeah, Berkshire Hathaway includes BNSF, Geico, See's Candy, Benjamin Moore, Duracell, Fruit of the Loom, Oriental Trading, Dairy Queen, and Hellsberg Diamonds. So he's stepping down as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, which means he's stepping down from his leadership role in all of those things, half of which I had no idea Buffett had anything to do with. Um, and I'm curious what this means for BNSF. Like, that's obviously why we have it here. Does anyone, do either of you know anything about, like, his direction? Because I feel like it's all very close to the chest.
I mean, that's been my impression of it.
Berkshire Hathaway bought out all the shares from all the investors of BNSF. So, yeah, it's all there. Um, but the rest of Berkshire's portfolio uh, includes the Coca-Cola Company, American Express, Bank of America, and Chevron. Um, it's crazy that he's still like, you know, it's crazy that it took him this long to retire. I don't know what's going to happen to BNSF. I don't think anything bad is going to happen to BNSF, because they're a Class One railroad and they're just going to keep on trucking, right? But I wonder if I feel like this relates to the ongoing UPNS thing, right? Um, if Buffett was somebody who was against a like a reprisal merger, this could change the tune of BNSF. And again, that's wild speculation on my part, but you sort of think about, okay, well, UPNS, if they merge, that leaves CN, CBKC, CSX, and BNSF. And I feel like CSX and BNSF are kind of the obvious other pair, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's
Um,
not much left.
no, everybody else already has a Transcom, except for them at that
Right.
point. Now, this isn't Merger Mania. I don't know how much it would benefit them to get that, but you know, maybe it would. Maybe we could see some change in tune here.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know. We talked a bunch last week about the UPNS merger and what that means for railroading and what the prospective changes are and or lack thereof. Um, but the other class ones are doing their due diligence and they're really coming at the merger. Uh, are you caught up on these on the merger filing at all, Jader?
It's been approved, right?
No, it's still in limbo.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
they
Good.
submitted it a couple of weeks back. Um, Comments were due on December 29th, and they're not comments on the merger, but they're comments on the application. They're saying, "Hey, is the application complete?" And the other railroads are saying no. CPKC says the two railroads brazenly have withheld aspects of their merger agreement, including conditions NS can sue to require UP to accept. Um, CPKC says that uh, the board and interesting parties will get off applicants' own assessment and scope of anti-competitive. Oh, that's some word salad. CN says selective disclosure is undermining the regulatory process. Basically, they're saying this is missing some big pieces. The headline of the Transmag article said that the merger, competing railroads say it omits key information. Now, I have no idea because I did not sit down and read 7,000 pages of merger information. Um, I don't, I don't know what is supposed to be in such a thing, but boy, 7,000 pages. You'd think you'd have everything just about covered.
Yeah, you think. I mean, I imagine a lot of it is legalese, but I don't know.
The BNSF comments say that UPNS do not provide information on projected market shares as required by the merger rules set in 2001. It says the economist cited in the application defines the projected market shares as the total of NS and UP's market shares in 2023, which does not incorporate the over 2 million new units that UP and NS project they will attract elsewhere. So basically, it's saying that they said, oh yeah, our market share is going to be UP's market share plus NS's market share. Duh, easy. No math needed. And the response is, no, you need to calculate that out for the future. That's not projected. That's existing. Which makes a lot of sense to me. And I know, Jada, we're sort of kindred in the engineering world. It's looking at projected volumes, projected traffic volumes, stuff like that, just to draw a line of comparison. I don't know what happened to East. East died. He said he had to step off for a second. He'll be back. But yeah, it's been a slow news week.
Yeah, I mean, it's what, January 4th. I guarantee it's gonna start trickling in. All the news.
Well, this is why I encourage folks to jump in and contribute to our big pile of news. Christmas trains are over for all the major tourist railroads. You said you were in for the last week, and of course they're done around here. They're done everywhere. I know with the WWF, this weekend they ran some trains, and I think next weekend they're also running some trains. They are doing revenue trains with the automatic vacuum brakes for the first time, which is
I was because that's fantastic. I didn't realize they were that far along with it.
oh yeah, it's on.
I remember seeing like a test video, I think, where it was just looking at the brake cage, but that's awesome.
We had some tests. We did a bunch of tests. We've been building the equipment, putting it on our passenger stock. We had the tester at the last Big E. I don't know if it's going to make another appearance this year. Which, speaking of which, we're only 20 days away from the Big E this year.
I can't go.
I know. I wish everyone could go all of the time, but it's going to be another adventure at, I think by some measures, the world's largest train show. Springfield, Massachusetts, the Amherst Model Railway Society, Amherst Model Train Show. I'm not sure what the official name is. Everyone around here just calls it the Big E. Yeah, I'm trying to sift through this wordy article about wordy things. I appreciate it when things are summed down, or when we get the opportunity to bring in the experts, so to speak. The casual experts. I am not a casual expert on any of this stuff. CPKC is highly critical that the application does not include the data underlying what it calls the application's extraordinary claims. UPNS says it's going to convert 2 million truckloads to rail traffic. I don't buy it. The way the class 1s are going, I would not expect very many movements from truck traffic to rail traffic, and that's something that we talked about last week. So I don't know. I don't really think it's going to be a huge status quo change. I'm just not convinced. And of course, all of the other class 1s are very critical of the potential merger, which is a very fair thing to be at this point in time. But I I don't know what difference it's really going to make. But yeah, this is an excellent article. It's in the cargoes right now, um, under a UPNS merger, and I invite everyone to read through it and make your own bones about it.
We should. I really haven't stayed up with this other than, oh, they're going to do it. What?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they will, maybe they won't. Um, I'm not sure. It's in the hands of the Surface Transportation Board whether they think that the um, whether they think that the objections here are enough. And I mean, leaving out things that are required seems like enough to kick this back to the companies and say you got to work on this some more. But who knows?
Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens this year.
yeah. Speaking of waiting and seeing, something that came across my feed earlier today was the end of the North Star commuter rail, which is in Minnesota, if I recall correctly, or I suppose was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Um, it's a shame that North Star has gone. We talked about it several months ago, and the fact of the matter is, it never got anywhere close to where it was before COVID. It was carrying like 700,000 people a year before COVID, and last year it carried 120,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm never one for cutting train service, but North Star really was not doing so hot. Um, and it's a shame because it had been steady and growing a little bit, uh, but never quite came back. In 2021, a total of 50,000 people rode it for the year
Yikes.
against so about 700,000 people less than 2019. Um, so
Oh wait, the last day of it's today.
yeah, today is
Oh
the
wow.
end of North Star. And the question that I have isn't what's going to happen to North Star because it's going to become a bus service and that'll be that. It'll probably have more than enough capacity to take care of everybody. Uh, the question for me is where is the stuff going to go? Because
I. Hmm.
they've got bi-levels, they've got cab cars, they've got locomotives. Um,
Hmm. Well, it's not an F40. What, they don't run F40s, right?
no, they ran. It looks like F-59s.
Oh, okay. I almost see Metra snapping up the locomotives, and then
Oh no, these are
the high-level
MP-36s.
cars. Yeah, I don't know.
Five
I mean,
M-
I could see Metra snapping up the locomotives, but then the cars, I don't know.
they're
Maybe there's
regular
never.
bi-level cars. They're like the hexagonal sort of shaped ones or the octagonal ones, like Toronto has.
Yeah.
Um, and let me correct
Um,
myself. They are MP-36s, the
oh,
locomotives.
okay.
They had six of those, 12 bi-level coaches, and six bi-level cab cars. There was sort of murmurings of Trinity Railway Express picking some up. Trinity Railway Express is over in Dallas Fort Worth area. Um, they wanted them in preparation for hosting the World Cup in 2026. So I don't know. They're going to show up down there. Um, Amtrak was looking at leasing some in the wake of having to pull all the Horizons from service. Back when that happened, I know we had a lot of discussions about what, where do you get passenger equipment now? And if you have closing commuter rail systems or services, that might be one of the only places to get stuff that isn't fresh out of the box, therefore takes you 10 years to order and build and procure and then fix once you get it because nothing works out of the box.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh, we did have, yeah, and I'm not sure if they're going to end up there. The most recent updates on those things is from May. Um,
On the
so
horizons.
yeah, on the North Star equipment, I went and
Oh,
I did a little research earlier today to sort of figure that out, and I'll throw that link. I'll throw that link in the cargoes as well, even though it has been around for a long time. Uh, that was back in. Oh, sorry, we did have another update in August, but it says pretty much the same thing. Oh no, this is. All right, I'm confused. This says it's from August 6th, but I click on it and the article says it's from May 12th.
hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
North Star Commuter Rail. I'm gonna add that in, and yeah, today is the last day of North Star. I hope they gave it a good send off. I hope they, did the Christmas time thing and put a wreath on the front of the locomotive. I know the MBTA has done some of that. That's our quote unquote Christmas train.
They put a wreath. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find a photo, but uh, I like it when transit agencies have fun on Christmas, or have fun around the holidays. They also wrapped, if I recall correctly, they wrapped um, like a light rail vehicle in Christmas lights.
That's cool.
Drove that around. Yeah. Uh, actually, have you been on the show since we met up in Cleveland?
No, I don't think so.
Because we should talk about if I want to hear your thoughts on the RTA in Cleveland.
Oh,
Because I can tell you what I thought, which is that it is the saddest light rail system I've been on, and it's not even that's not even because it's small.
see, I don't know if I can call it a sad light rail system because it's the only light rail system I've been on except for Denver's.
You never rode on one around here in Boston? I didn't take you on the trolley cars or something?
Oh wait, the Mattapan. The Mattapan's top because it's PCCs and PCCs are cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they, well, I want to say they don't break, but
Oh, they break all the time. They break all the time, most often by running into the back of one another.
nice.
Yeah, it's less than ideal.
Got to use that emergency brake.
I think the problem is they don't. They should only allow one on the system at a time. With how frequently that seems to happen.
Jeez.
This,
I,
uh,
I I mean they could come here and steal the double-ended PCC from ORM.
oh yeah, and then they only have to use one track. They don't even have to
Exactly.
use the reverse loop. Easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Does your does the PCC at ORM have a pantograph or a trolley pole?
I believe it's trolley pole.
Okay. Because I need to look this up. I'm pretty sure these guys also, yeah, the Mattapan PCCs also still have trolley pole,
Yeah, I'm gonna find a picture of it.
which is really funny. This
Or
might be one of the only like major city transit systems that still uses trolley pole for anything. But that's because the Mattapan line is a weird appendix. So, you know, while Jader looks for that, yeah, I'll say that back 2 months ago now, uh, my wife and my dad and we went to Cleveland to see a football game, and I was like, "Oh, Jader, we're not going to be too far from you. Let's get together and go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and get lunch and stuff." Um, and that meant that meant sorry, there's the trolley car. That meant we need to figure out how to get into the city, right? Um, Jader, I need to step away for just 1 second. So you can tell the people about Cleveland RTA and how important it is, because you have a bit of a story there.
Uh, yeah. So Cleveland RTA. I mean, our original idea was to just drive to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and park somewhere nearby and everything. We didn't realize that because my because neither of us realized that there was a football game going on and that parking would be insane or impossible to find, or for the few spots that you could get, it would be $50 a car. So, um, we called Ella's, and he said, "Oh, they just, we just took the trolley in. Why don't you just do that?" And we agreed, yeah, that might be the best idea. Uh, so we drove out to a station on, I think, the green and blue lines. Left the car there. It took a while to actually buy a ticket because I haven't used the transit app before, and it was kind of confusing to figure out. Um,
I suppose at your station there was not a ticket machine.
I didn't see one. Neither of us saw one.
Yeah, there was one at the station that I went to. We were on the red line, which is heavy rail. I didn't realize one of the lines was heavy rail.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's a strange, uh, it's a strange system, and then like transferring downtown was even weirder because it's like in this big dead mall transit station
Yeah, yeah,
complex.
yeah. Tower City, Tower City is cool. I like, um, because in my old job we had a job where we were surveying a bridge right outside of Tower City, including on the RTA track, and that kind of got it in my head like this is cool. I wish you could still get an Amtrak into here, but anyway, um, so the RTA train shows up. It's the little two-car, I think, Beretta things. Um, and it was fun because up until that point, I mean, I because RTD was fun, but it seemed like there were a lot more people on it. People actually use it. And with the
Yeah,
RTA, I think there were at most maybe 15 people on the car we were on going to and from the stadium.
yeah. I had the same experience on the red line on the way in. It was us and a handful of other people in the, well, I can't say light rail car, in the car, in the EMU, electric multiple
And
unit,
yeah,
in the doohickey.
it definitely seems like a doohickey. I love how they all have air whistles.
They do. You want to know something else?
Yes.
Uh, and this only became clear to me when we had to transfer Tower City. You didn't have to change trains, right?
No.
Because we did. We had to get off and we had to go through the Tower City complex, and the platforms were all under construction, the tracks are under construction, the tunnel portals under construction, and they had everything routed like all to one westbound platform.
Hmm.
Um, so whether you were going out to the red line towards the airport or you were going like down to the waterfront, you would get onto the same platform. Now, for for those that are paying astute attention here, uh, as established, the red line is the heavy rail line. That's the one that's going to the airport, and the blue and green are the ones that are going down to the waterfront, um, on the same platform, on the same tracks, even. Uh, and the whole network is like tied in together, and not subtly either. Uh, so Cleveland recently, I think, put out a. Oh yeah, this is from a week ago. Um, the Greater Cleveland RTA is buying new rail cars, and
Ooh.
the goal is for them to be interoperable between the red line and the blue and green lines.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. I don't know how they're going to make that work. in terms of operation, but it's really it's a weird thing that you'd think they would not be able to get away with, but apparently they can. Uh, the new trains should show up by 2027. Um, Hopefully they'll have like all the cars they ordered by the end of the following year, which is 54 cars, which isn't a lot of cars, but still. Um, and yeah, they're replacing the fleet that they have, which goes back to the 80s. I don't know if all the cars are from the 80s, but
I I don't know. The red line cars are like I mean, they're cool looking.
they're really cool looking. They're also ancient. I mean, you can tell, right? You can tell
I,
from
I
looking at them.
I mean, I like that. I mean, I wish we still had Bud and could, do more stainless steel cars because they look so good.
We miss you, Bud. Bud don't break.
Yeah, and Bud
Um,
don't break. Are they Bud built?
I don't know. I'm trying to see where they came from. I
Hmm.
found a thing about their active bus fleet, but I am struggling to find stuff about their active train fleet. Um, oh yeah, here we go.
Hmm.
The Red Line RTA Rapid Transit. The Red Line uses rolling stock that was manufactured by the oh by Tokyu Car Corporation (TOKYU), um, which is Japanese, of course.
Oh wait, do they have the Bud technology? But
I don't know. They're yeah, licensed production to Bud Technology. Man, East is missing this. Um,
damn,
they also make Shinkansens,
huh?
so that is that is the last place I would have expected these to have come from.
Hmm.
Although maybe I'm not understanding sort of the company tree here, but it's a J Trek is the trade name,
Hmm.
which I don't know what that means. But yeah, so the Tokyo car manufacturing company made these cars back in 1984,
Hmm.
um, and they were rehabbed in the early 20 teens. So they're still, they're not too far out of rehab. I mean, it's been less than 50 years since they were rehabbed, but they're already scrapping a whole bunch of them.
Hmm.
18 decommissioned cars have been scrapped by May of 2021. So that stuff's going. That stuff's going out, and I wonder if the goal is for the new cars to completely replace all of the old stock, or if the idea is that they're going to supplement all of the old stock. Um, I do like the idea of the service plan with with everything. Um, they're going to be able to provide direct, direct stuff to the waterfront line, waterfront line, direct stuff with to the new stadium, which is over by the airport, um, and they'll be able to do that from all of the branches that go to the east. So like everything can go to the
Anywhere,
football stadium when there's a big event, um,
which is a Browns game.
such as a Browns game.
Go Brownies, I guess.
Brownies.
It was
Hey,
kind of fun walking around. Like there were several groups of kids yelling out chants for the Browns.
love it.
That was fun to see. Yeah,
It's cool. It's good energy, right?
yeah. It was so many people though. Like Mars and I don't do well in super large crowds like that.
Oh yeah, it was
And
kind of.
yeah, like we let. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Oh, it's like we left the deli, and it's like uh, we start walking back towards the station, and it's like I think it was right at game time, or it seemed like it, because there was just a big mass of people going to the stadium, and it's like, yeah, okay, like we're just gonna get on the train and go.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean,
Yeah.
it started to get pretty busy out there, And it's an interesting thing, right? And I know this is a sort of sidetrack away from transit directly, but I can pull it back, which is that the Brown Stadium is right there in downtown, which is nice. It helps out downtown. Like, yeah, parking is a catastrophe, but it is a very accessible stadium, which it's not going to be after they move it. I can understand why they want to get it out of there, and I can understand like why that stadium's at its expiration date, especially being right on the water and just the age of the stadium. Um, and they want to, they want to move it out to closer to the airport into this big empty area where there used to be a steel mill.
Hmm.
Um, Currently, it doesn't have like a station. It's not going to have a station right at the stadium, which is sort of a big miss. It's being planned, but it's not funded.
That's a big L.
Yeah, no, they should definitely get that figured out because that that makes it. You need that.
Yeah.
Um, and if I remember right, yeah, the goal is it's going to be. I cannot for the life of me find the location again. I think it's going to be this one that's right across from the. This one that's right across from the airport. This big empty space where they want to put the new Brown Stadium. But having transit connections to your stadium is really good and important and essential, and you should do that whenever you can. I'm saying this to all the city planners out there. Uh,
I was gonna say I'm just glaring at Columbus. It's like, I mean, we got buses. Yeah, that's about it.
well, at least bus connections are, if all you have is buses, having a bus connection is good. Uh,
That is true.
but if you have, heavy and light rail, then it is worth making use of that to move the tons of people. Uh, with the different stadiums that I've visited in the past few years, it's been pretty essential to have transit to those places. The station in DC was within walking distance of a transit station. The station in Pittsburgh has a transit station right out the stadium in Pittsburgh has a transit station right outdoors. Like right, it's abutting it basically. Um, and I'm trying to remember. I mean, Foxborough Stadium. I talked about riding the T there over track that is probably exempted. At least it sure feels like it is. But and I don't know, this coming year, the place to go might be Baltimore, and I assume they have a transit connection there because Baltimore has transit. But I'll have to figure that out. Oh yeah, Philly. I went to see a baseball game in Philadelphia, and there's a
Go
transit station
birds.
right the outside the stadiums there too. Um, East, you just missed it. We learned that the cars that run on the Cleveland Heavy Rail metro line were built by a Japanese company.
Yeah, sounds about right.
When they look very Bud.
That's the Illinois Terminal one, or
That is, hold on. Let me actually pull up a picture for you. The Cleveland Red Line cars. They have like a stainless steel fluting going on. It's pretty cool. I'll also put this up on the screen if I can. This is a big picture. I just put it in the public thread so that the audience might be able to see it. And I'm going to save this image and also throw it up on the screen for those that are watching us on YouTube.
oh yes, Nippon Shoyo, correct?
Yeah, is I think so. Does it go by any other names? Like Tokyo?
Tokyo is the railroad, but yes, Nippon
Okay.
Shoyo, I believe, is owned by the Tokyo or owns the Tokyo, something like that.
I was gonna say it feels like there's some corporate tree shenanigans going on here.
Yeah, well, Japanese rail industry and Japanese private railway corporate tree is just a big circular incestual, like, it makes the Habsburg look sane.
I don't see a chin on these
But,
things.
Nippon Sharyo / Tokyo does have the exclusive rights to use Bud equipment, not Bud equipment, but produce Bud equipment in Japan, which is exactly why some of the stuff looks exactly like Bud.
So when I said licensed production as a joke, I was correct.
Yes.
That's
Well, let me
fantastic.
pull up the 6000 series for the Tokyo. You may recognize they look very similar.
Actually, if we're talking about Bud, oh, I see. If we're talking about Bud,
they're essentially just licensed produced buds, and then they just went from there.
if we're talking about Bud, we
Yes.
should probably address the elephant in the room. The Mexican wreck with the SPVs. We don't have a lot of information, but I did say we would come back to it. This was something that, that happened right after last show, so I'm a little surprised we haven't heard, like, a follow-up yet. But we know what we know. 241 passengers and 9 crew were on the train. The train has been around for a little less than 3 years now. It was inaugurated in 2023. They're trying to, develop infrastructure in southern Mexico. Various online pundits have talked about the pros and cons of doing it this way. I think it's great that they are doing anything at all. We know that the incident happened on a curve, and one of the SPVs went down a cliffside. I'm going to assume that all of the fatalities came from that. But yeah, we don't really have, like, I'd love to understand how this happened. We got a lot of speculation about the first thing I heard was, oh, maybe there was an avalanche, right? But it doesn't seem like there was. It feels like a speed issue based on the way the train ended up, and I don't have the overhead photo. I'm sure that you can find it. I put the links in the cargoes under the Class 1 mantle for everybody. But this article doesn't have as much as I've seen. I don't actually know where the other photos have come from because there's a couple of overhead shots.
Is that an HST in one of the articles?
Yeah, I don't know why they're showing that one, because that's a different incident.
Oh, I was gonna say, oh god, please don't tell me. Please don't tell me they're running HSTs.
Oh, they are.
No, like in the same consist.
Oh, in the same consist as SPVs.
If you think that's bad, I've got something for you, Jada.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Okay, so the first article does have some shots of sort of them pitched down the hill, and again, there's not a lot of information as to how this happened. But it doesn't. The locomotives seem to stay like farther up the cliff, like towards where the rails are. If I had to make a guess, I would guess that it was too much speed around a sharp corner, but we don't have any more information at this time. It doesn't seem like there was an act of nature. It could have been like a broken rail or something, but I don't know if we're ever going to know. What are you talking about, East?
I need to find the photo first. Because it's easy to explain without the photo, but the shock value of the photo is what I want to achieve.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah. Is this the thing from a couple weeks ago?
No.
No? Okay.
Oh, I also found, on complete accident, I found the overhead shot.
Okay. Yeah, if you could put that in the public thread, I'll get that up on screen as well. Yeah, this is the thing that looks the most damning to me. It is a royal pain to get stuff onto the screen. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, right? So this is the overhead shot. The locomotive, I I don't know if there were two. I was under the impression that there were two. Um,
Oh my god!
because the locomotive is
built-in
facing
bucket.
the other direction, like the one locomotive that remains, right? But it really does feel like this thing just sort of got flung off the tracks, and not that it ran into something and then was dislodged. I mean, it's entirely possible. It's possible that the locomotives got ground to a halt, or maybe just the second one. I don't know. I don't know if we're ever going to get a proper like NTSB report on something like this because it's out of the country. Um, but I do want to know, insatiable curiosity. That's what happened in
Yeah.
Spain and on the NEC at Philadelphia, going too fast on a curve. Yeah, I agree. The pattern is very similar. Now I kind of want to know what happened to that CSX train that got all piled up. I didn't ask for best wreck, but I feel like that one would have been it. The curve is sharp and in need of a realignment.
Yeah, that looks like a really sharp corner.
I can't disagree, but it also looks like fairly rugged terrain. I don't know how you would. I don't know if you could feasibly make good on that arrangement.
I don't
Project
know.
Plowshare.
Yeah. All right. That'll help.
That'd probably work.
You just go straight through the mountains, not around them.
Yeah, just adopt the Rio Grande mindset.
Yeah. Well.
I can't find the photo, which sucks, but it's an HST, and I believe it's in Africa, but I don't remember which country, maybe Liberia, Libya. It's an HST cab car pulling a Talgo set.
What?
Oh, yeah, I think I have seen this.
I need to see that. Please tell me you have that picture.
I thought you were going to say that. I thought you were going to mention what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, which is the other Mexican passenger train incident that involved the HST hitting a truck.
And it's Lagos. I don't remember what.
Oh, it's Lagos. Yeah, I remember this.
Oh my.
Those
What?
are the.
That's a cursed image.
It is.
If you think that's cursed, just wait till you see this.
Oh no.
The
No.
double heading HSTs.
I'm getting them on the screen. This is some pocket trains BS.
Oh my god.
These are the Talgos that were up in the Pacific Northwest, aren't they? Or no, sorry, no. These are the ones that were supposed to be used in Wisconsin, if I remember right. Because we talked about how it's just bizarre that they ended up here. Yeah, okay. I've got them on the screen now for everybody, and you can see this cursed arrangement because they really
P38s.
people love to complain about the Avalias not lining up.
Because they just show them that.
Yeah, this is
Nigeria.
heinous. Although I will say though, especially on these Jeeps, what a great paint scheme. Let me get these up on the screen because
Yeah, cool.
I have to take a moment to like respect this paint scheme. They've got some they've got some good artists on staff.
I do like that.
It reminds me of like it's the colors of the Connecticut like CT rail, but the scheme itself sort of reminds me of, I don't know, Rail Runner or something. I don't know what else has those sort of swooping lines. It's very good.
It is the Milwaukee train sets. I did just confirm that on a news article.
Okay, yeah. And actually, if we want to talk about stuff like that, I have an update for the Caltrain locomotives that got sent to Peru.
Ooh.
There's a lawsuit.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Oh yeah, Caltrain does have a similar scheme, sort of on the more modern stock, but yeah, the Caltrain coaches and locomotives, 19 of them, 19 of each, have arrived in Lima and are falling apart and beyond repair in some cases, according to
Hmm.
municipal railway officials. Uh, Doors and
Yeah, that
windows
sounds
are
about
missing. HVAC systems aren't working. 3 of the locomotives require a complete rebuild. Um, they say that they would have to limit the speed to 12 miles per hour with some of the equipment.
God.
I don't know where they
Oh
get
my
that number. That seems like a made up number, but
Well, hold up. Let me check something.
Unsafe at any speed.
That's 20 kilometers an hour.
okay. Well, I see that it is a round number. It still seems like, yeah, 20 kph. We definitely can't run them faster than that. I don't know about you, but if I can only drive my car at 12 miles an hour, I can't drive my car. Um,
So they just created a tourist line, but the hard way.
yeah. Well, if you want to go and tour Peru, um,
Yeah.
they sold these guys for 6.2 million um, to to Peru, and Peru is like, yeah, we're gonna bring legal action against Caltrain now because they sold us junk. Um,
Really funny.
they wanted to expand their commuter operations using the trains. I don't know what Lima's commuter rail looks like. I'm gonna look up a map. Uh, oh, maybe if I typed in the word map, I could find it. Um, oh yeah, and they wanted to add an extra line with these things. If I could see. Nope. Although I think the extra line, I don't know if the line that's being proposed, because like they've got the Lima Metro, which is obviously they're not going to be running F40s on like LRV corridors.
That'd be cool as fuck, though.
All you have to do is follow the damn train, CJ.
So
Follow the damn train.
I need a map and somebody who actually understands the commuter rail of Lima,
Spanish?
Peru. I mean,
Okay, that works too.
listen, if you want to, that is true. There is a bit of a language barrier.
I mean, if you need a Spanish speaker.
Well, I can at least say that the regional rail line is the Tren de la Costa, which is a great name. Is this the one that they bought stuff for? I don't know.
Tren de la Costa is not Peruvian?
Are you sure?
Tren de la Costa is from Argentina.
Well, there's more than one train on a coast. Uh, Tren de la Costa is a planned regional rail line in Peru paralleling the Pan American Highway. This is okay. Yeah, they wanted to run. Okay, so it looks like they don't have. I'm looking up the most recent update on this project, which is back in November, and the secondhand rolling stock. The secondhand rolling stock found to be in poor condition. Says is like the secondary headline. The headline is Lima commuter project stalls. But engineering reports cited by El Comercio warned that under current infrastructure conditions, commuter services would not be able to operate over 20 kilometers per hour. There is no double track, no 4 stations, no 14 stops, and no signaling, which makes it impossible to guarantee service safety. I don't know what some of that means. 4 stations and 14 stops. Either, I don't know, flag stops? I don't know if that's part of the plan.
I don't know.
inspection commission. All the locomotives and coaches exhibit critical mechanical and structural deterioration. I've heard that they were left on the dock for a long time, and that may have contributed. Uh,
Hmm.
Although missing windows, doors, and cab components, yeah, I mean maybe somebody went in and pulled stuff out of them. Somebody stripped all the copper wiring out of them while they weren't looking.
See, I can imagine that happening, but the broken windows and doors sounds like a particularly bad wave might have hit the boat
That's
and
possible.
maybe.
some rustling around.
That's possible. I mean, they could have been damaged in transit. Um, Structural fatigue and corrosion. I mean, it's I don't.
But also, I will say, from personal experience, railroads can be extremely scummy and misleading about the condition of rail cars. Don't
Yeah,
ask me how I know.
I don't want to necessarily point the finger in one direction or the other. Do I think that California probably talked up what they were sending? Yeah. Do I think that Lima is that Peru is now sort of talking up the badness of what they received? Also, yeah. I think it's not unreasonable to say that. I mean, it seems like there are problems beyond the locomotives and cars or the conditions thereof. Also, if they bought 19 locomotives, that's a lot of locomotives.
Yeah.
I assume they're also including the cab cars in that number.
Oh, maybe. It says 19 double deck coaches and 19 diesel locomotives, but I don't know. Maybe that does include cab cars. I mean, North Star had 6 cab cars and 6 locomotives and 12 other coaches, which makes for a bunch of stubby little trains. But if you're running a single commuter line that's 14 miles, I actually want to see how long North Star was. North Star was 40 miles.
Oh, it's 19 F40s and 90 gallery cars.
Oh, 90, 90. Okay, so there seems to have been a typo in here in the
or someone misheard.
PA Daily Post. Yeah, one thing leads to another. I'll actually put this article in the cargoes as well, of course, because I'm just sort of sifting through things here. It's interesting that this is. Oh yeah, okay. 19 F40PH locomotives and 90 double stack coaches for $6 million.
Damn.
I don't know about you, but that seems like a really good deal.
Yeah.
Well, if I remember correctly, they pay $6 million, and then the U.S. government covers the rest of the costs. Because I remember specifically that the U.S. government was pitching in to cover a majority of the cost. Because this is kind of one of those things where it's like, we'd rather you buy this American equipment to run there, and have American companies come and maintain it, rather than buying something new from China. Or otherwise non-American markets.
Well, they're certainly going to have to maintain it. It just strikes me that if you're running a 14-mile commuter line and you have 19 locomotives and 90 coaches.
Where did you get 14 from?
14 miles? How long is it? How long is it? Oh no, sorry, 14 stops. Wanted to open 4 new stations.
It's going to be 200 miles.
Okay, 14 stops.
Okay.
My bad. That's where I got 14. I was gonna say it just seems like overkill, but I guess for a 200-mile service, yeah, okay. 19 train sets is pretty reasonable. But they're gonna have to be able to run them at more than 20 kilometers per hour, which I don't think is an equipment issue, if I'm understanding correctly. We do have a caller from the audience, so.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do some quick maths.
Do some quick maths.
Hello.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
So at 20 kilometers an hour, it would take over 16 hours to go from end to end. That's some really good efficient commuter rail.
Well, I would walk 200 kilometers and I would walk 200 more.
I was about to look up the latest train on Amtrak just to see like how long the Canadian was. But good thing I didn't. I did not hit enter. I was like,
Don't
wait a
do it.
second, I shouldn't do
Don't
that.
spoil it.
You shouldn't
All
do
right.
that.
All right,
Sus.
we'll take this call from the audience here. Brian, what's on your platform? What's your news item that you want to talk about?
Before I move on to my news item, which is going to be about the Northlander,
Okay.
I would like to point out that I'm pretty sure North Star Commuter Rail would have been more successful if instead of buying these itty bitty teeny tiny loco haul trains, they had like some sort of diesel rail car to buy. But at the time they were founded, I'm pretty sure it was just Colorado Railcar, which, as we know, was kind of shite.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think the problem with North Star is that they lost 80% of their ridership since 2019. I'm not sure if it matters. I'm not sure if it matters what they had. I mean, being able to throw down a DMU for a service is good and is something that should be more normalized. Hey, actually, East, does that company still have licensed production for Bud stuff? Because I'd like to place an order.
What, no, okay. There's a lot of issues with North Star beyond the fact that they lost. Because the thing is, they lost 80% of the ridership, yes, but the ridership was abysmal to begin with.
Their ridership was 750,000 people a year. That's not bad.
I thought it was a lot lower than that.
No, they're North.
That could have been like dealt with if they weren't running full size. Well, quote unquote full size. Yes, there were two cars, but you have locomotive and two coaches. If you just had a diesel rail car there, you could have made that work.
I mean, maybe
Okay,
we don't know how
Yeah.
much we don't know how much else they were spending on track maintenance, leasing, station operation. Sometimes, I want more trains, but I am not sure if something the scale of North Star, even if you were running it with something cheaper to operate, in theory cheaper to operate, makes sense for 130,000 people a year. It's a shame, and I wish they had stuck around, but I definitely get why they're moving, why they're changing everything over to a commuter coach.
Quick question: Where should I put stuff for Terminus news?
You can go ahead and throw it in the public thread if we're talking about it right
Right.
here and right now.
So,
Also,
the other thing with Railstar that I'll point out is I've talked to someone from that area. It kind of goes nowhere nowhere to downtown, and it had planned expansions to actually make it from an actual city to city as opposed to from Minneapolis to just outside of Minneapolis in the middle of nowhere.
yeah,
And those plans fell through. But I think if they had actually extended it up to St. Cloud, I think the numbers would have more than rebounded. It's just one of those things where this is something that, I, it's going to sound like I'm sucking some Japanese dick, but I'm not. I was literally reading this up yesterday. In Japan, there was a private rail line, where their ridership numbers were suffering, and they had two options: close the line, or take out a massive loan to build new stations in hope of increasing ridership. And what they did is they took out the loan to build new stations to hopefully increase ridership, and it worked. Because instead of closing lines like we're doing here in the States, we need to be expanding their ability to get people places. People will take the train if it is an option. We need to build it, and they will come, as people have said before. If they extended North Star up to St. Cloud, that would have been because it would have been a almost direct line between Minneapolis and St. Cloud. That would have been amazing for people commuting between the two major metropolitan areas in Minnesota.
I definitely can't disagree. One of the articles that crossed my feed earlier was that they should adjust North Star rather than canceling it. I mean, the ship has long since sailed, sadly, but I think if they revisit this in the future, an extension to St. Cloud would be the smart thing to do. Having a single commuter rail train that goes from the suburbs into downtown was viable in the days before remote work, but now just the ridership isn't there.
Yeah.
And I've talked about how different it is on a Thursday versus a Friday on the MBTA. And the MBTA is not as congested as it used to be. But on Fridays and Mondays, when a lot of people work from home, it's a ghost town. It's commuter agencies and transit agencies that have sort of built and survived on people commuting into a downtown to work cubicle jobs are going to need to adapt. And doing things like stretching your computer lines out to other major cities and looking to create a network instead of a sort of, you know, like a big asterisk where all the lines just meet in the middle is going to be absolutely essential to keeping ridership on these systems. And
Right,
yeah, no,
right.
I do agree that if they had had the political capital and the will and the money to extend to St. Cloud, it would have, it would have given North Star enough staying power to stick around. And it's a shame that that didn't happen. Now we just need to keep an eye out for where these cars end up. Which part of Mexico and or Africa will the North Star and or South America will the North Star commuter equipment?
Or Amtrak.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I was about to say, and or the most likely outcome, Seattle.
yeah, also a very good possibility. It's just Amtrak running, bi-level commuter coaches is crazy.
I mean,
It's happened before.
what the Chicago Milwaukee is what basically a commuter line, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
With the
I
Borealis.
mean,
frequency?
they
No, no,
even
no.
used
The
the
just
gallery for it
Chicago
one
to
time.
Oh,
Milwaukee.
Chicago. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
No, they're just gonna go in a siding and sit for years while the owners say, "Yeah, we're definitely going to start a commuter service in Detroit."
hmm.
Thank you, Michigan. Very cool.
So
Anyway,
what is your actual news article now that we're off of now that we're off of North Star? Now,
first I need to know where the thread is because I can't
oh,
find it.
the thread is under Fun Fact of the Day. It's in the I need to rename Fun Fact of the Day to like Fun Fact of the Day
Oh,
Thread Hub because that's where I'm putting this
there we go. Junk present. I'm gonna send a link. Thank you. Hey, I see. Ah, yes, the funny but also cursed sight of HST power cars with the freaking
with the
with the
Talgos.
Talgos.
With the
That is like,
Talgos that wouldn't have been too far from North Star, in
yeah,
a better, kinder universe.
yeah. Honestly,
Ooh.
that is like the combination of those two things is like the most base visual you can possibly have for like train.
Okay, so
One of the
you
most.
sent an article about North Star, which we talked about North Star actually quite extensively last week, um, and this is a really good follow up. So I want you to give us the sort of soup to nuts a little bit, but also, you know, definitely give us your take on this because
Yeah.
I I was here last week. These two were not. The audience, both of our audience members, may not have been here last week. So,
All too
what is North Star? Or North Star. What is whatever this is?
What
Fist
is a
of the North.
train?
What is
Okay.
Northerner Star?
Okay. So this is the Ontario Northlander service. It was a service that I can't remember when it was founded, but it last ran in 2012. It was famously known way back in the day for using a former Trans Europe Express train set, and then they
Yeah.
later replaced the power car with a modified F unit. It just looked wacky.
Interesting.
Uh, then they replaced that with like some Exco Transit single level cars hauled by jeeps,
They
usually
should have tried some
along with the F.
HSTs.
Mayhaps, perchance. If I had a nickel for every Canadian train that was imported from Europe and was built for use in Europe. Anyway, um, so
You have a lot of
there have been
nickels.
plans to bring this train back for the simple reason that the bus service that replaced it in 2012 is not reliable because if you go to Northern Ontario, you will find a lot of snow and ice in the winter, so a lot of the roads will end up being closed. Thus, the bus is no longer really feasible as a rail replacement, especially for such a long term replacement. It's been since 2012
Mm-hmm.
that they've decided, you know what, screw it, we're putting the train back in and we're going full beans with it. So they've ordered some train sets from Siemens, which are essentially the Via corridor sets, but a couple coaches short. So it's just like 2 coaches, a cab car, and a charger. They have this
Yeah,
really cool livery.
as we know, the Chargers famously love the cold.
Yeah, they're great in the cold. This is gonna go well.
They're continuously being developed. Hopefully, they will work out those problems. Otherwise, we might see some Jeeps on these.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
at the
the
very
fourth
least,
problem.
it'll be a great testing ground for them. You guys want to figure out how to make them work in the cold? Well, here's your
Send
opportunity.
them to Northern Ontario.
What?
No, hear me
I
out.
think
The,
I have a solution. The solution is to get rid of the massive hole in the side of the locomotive.
Actually, I think
Yeah.
the solution is
Yeah.
to make more holes. It saves weight.
Speed holes.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I was gonna say the North Star MP36s. Send them to this.
Yeah.
Well, Amtrak has a bunch of P42s for sale, so.
Well, and I
too.
was gonna say Peru has some stuff it might want to get rid of.
Just send us more F40s. F40s are perfect for Canada.
I
That's
can't wait.
perfect locomotive.
I can't wait until the Caltrains F40s that are in Peru get sold to Canada, and then they find out they don't work, so they sell them to like Russia. And
No.
the-
We find out they don't work. We send them to like a rebuilder in like Montreal or something, and then they come back as like basically via rail spec.
They come back even longer. That's what happens when you rebuild an F40. It gets longer. The F40
Anyway.
PH-2Cs are so long. All right, yeah, go ahead. They've got
Going back to the article, it has been revealed that if everything goes smoothly, hopefully it does, as we've discussed, it might not. After the testing of these trains are done, the first one is actually currently in delivery or has just arrived. I don't know yet. But after all the testing with these is done, they're hoping this year to get the train running. And their timetable, which they released this past month, I'm just going to read directly off the article here. A quote, calls for 10-hour, 40-minute service on the approximately 740-kilometer, that's 460 miles,
Thank you.
route between Toronto and Timmins, Ontario. The trains will
Timmins?
serve well, Timmins, I'm not sure.
Is
I've
that
never
where
heard
Tim
that
Hortons
name.
is from?
No, Tim Horton is the name of the guy that founded it. He was a hockey player.
From Timmins. Oh.
Surprise, surprise. He was from Toronto, I think. Anyway, the trains will serve 13 intermediate stops. The northbound train will operate overnight, leaving Toronto at 6:30 p.m. The southbound train will depart from Timmins at 12:15 a.m.
Oh,
Operations will be 4 to 7 days per week, based on seasonal demand.
that's why.
Unquote.
Why the southbound
Jeez.
train at midnight? What time does the southbound train get into Toronto?
It doesn't say here,
Oh.
although I will click on the timetable to read this.
Yeah, you can go onto the. I just put this article on the cargoes for everybody. You can go down to the bottom of the Northlander homepage, or like towards the bottom of the Northlander homepage, and you can see the service schedule. So it leaves Timbits at 0:15, and it arrives at Toronto Union Station at 10:55 a.m. So that's right. It did say 10 hours. It's about 10 hours. That's if you want to.
Porcupine Station? What? Oh, it's the name of the town.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Wait,
I'm also
wait.
looking on the website.
Okay,
Timmins
now
Porcupine
I
Station.
see why this is so weird, because I'm scrolling in on the map and I'm like, oh wait a minute, what's this pink line? Now I understand why that name wasn't familiar to me, because for last I checked, the Northlander, the original one, terminated where now the terminus of the Polar Bear Express train is, which is Cochrane.
Yes.
But it doesn't appear that this train will be running to Cochrane. Instead, it goes to Timmins.
Which is an interesting little diversion. Does it
Well,
is there going to be like Cochrane is what is the south end of the Polar Bear Express, right?
Cochrane is the northernmost terminus of like ONR passenger services. The Polar Bear Express is the one that's like the pseudo auto train.
Yeah.
It's the only passenger train that's been running on ONR. Uh, but from what I can tell, the Northlander won't be using that. Apparently, there will be a bus connection that runs alongside the route of the Polar Bear Express to Cochrane, but the Northlander itself will only operate as far as Timmins.
Wait,
If I had to
I thought the
guess,
North.
they're
I
not
thought.
willing.
Hold on. Go on.
If I had to guess, they're not willing to send the Chargers all the way north.
I don't know if that
They're
little
just like
extra
too
is going to
scared to
be.
do that.
I don't think that little extra is going to make that much of a difference. They probably just figured out that they probably decided that this is a better terminating point. I don't know if it's slightly larger, like a slightly better catchment area, or they really just want to serve that. Um, it's kind of interesting that they don't want to do the train to train connection though. Maybe there was some other confounding problem. Excuse me, confounding problem. And yeah, so
Also,
Cochrane is the south end of the Polar Bear Express, and it runs up to Moosonee, uh,
I
which
also
is
like how they on the map they put like brackets underneath of the actual name of the place, which is honestly a good thing considering the name of the town for Kirkland Lake, which
yeah,
has become a bit notorious throughout the history of the ONR.
and
Like whenever you see, like whenever that comes up, it's just like
Oh,
people
uh-oh.
ask a lot of
yeah,
questions.
Uh-oh.
yeah. I have
But it got that
questions.
name well before the rise of fascism. I'll just say that.
Hmm.
So
You know,
it's just like
I mean, I'll
it's
take your word for it.
I'm
yeah.
I'm fixated on this diversion here. Why they don't want to, why they're not connecting it to the Polar Bear Express. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I would love someone who's really in the know to let me know.
Oh
I don't
wait a
get it.
minute! I just noticed something. That pink line isn't the Polar Bear Express route because if you look at it, the blue line for the Northlander goes down to Timmins, and then you see the pink line starts at Timmins and goes up to Cochrane.
Yeah, no, that's the bus connection.
That's the no, it's not the bus connection because that follows the railway line. The bus connection starts at Matheson, and it's
Well,
the dotted pink line. The pink line is seemingly a train. I'm wondering if they're going to get a couple of the coaches in like one of the jeeps, and they're going to run a shuttle service on rail.
That's
well,
awesome.
the timetable doesn't seem to indicate something like that. I mean, uh, it's just Timmins, Matheson, and then on the way down to Toronto.
I'm
Uh,
gonna click. Hang on. I'm just gonna look at the Timmins Porcupine Station
When did
thing.
this come out? Oh, never mind.
and because it seems like you'd get the bus station not from Timmins, or the bus connection not from Timmins, you would. Northlander train service will provide a safe and reliable transportation option between Toronto and Timmins with a rail connection to Cochrane, is what it says. But it's not clear what that rail connection necessarily entails. This is going to be something to either dig into or keep an eye out. I mean, yeah, there is a dotted line that's a bus connection. There's a pink line that is the rail connection. Cochrane's not on the timetable. Cochrane's not like really listed on here elsewhere. But it's good to see that they're getting this underway, and I hope they get all their sort of like Cleveland. I hope they get all their stuff on schedule, and they're able to get this service sorted up soon because build it and they will come, right?
Yes. Boy, do I am I patiently waiting for the day that like somebody like Via Rail, ONR, Amtrak, somebody finally says, "Fuck it, let's buy from why am I having a brain fart? Fuck it, let's buy mainline trains from Stadler." Because as we've mentioned, the Chargers are of course having issues. Uh, I I would imagine Stadler would be willing to like make an FRA compliant DMU if if push comes to shove.
Yeah. Although this is
That
quite a ways for a DMU train. I'm not saying that it's outside of their capability, but it makes sense to me that they're doing a proper train set for this.
True.
I mean,
Yeah, it does,
RDCs, but
Well,
Yeah.
obviously RDC's everywhere.
In
But
my
they'll break-
opinion, the like Stadler. Fuck, which one's the single deck? Is it the Flirt?
I have no
Flirt or
idea. I
Flirt?
just know they're
I
all
don't
named
know.
hilariously. The flirt,
Including
the
the
kiss,
GTW.
they're just all silly.
yeah, they're
That's
all
all I
very
know.
silly.
That is the Flirt. Like the larger mainline spec Flirts are, in my opinion, especially the diesel ones are, in my opinion, the spiritual successor to the RDC.
Why
They
did
could
they?
theoretically do what the RDCs did do. It's just nobody stateside has ordered long distance versions yet.
I need to know. The flirt, the kiss. What are the other ones? I need to go down the list. I'm so distracted now.
Their
We need
high
to.
speed train is called the Smile.
Oh, okay. They're escalating as the train goes slower. As the train goes slower, it gets more intimate.
We've had this discussion before.
I know, but they're
swear
gonna
to
build a building, and it's gonna be called something X-rated.
Oh god.
God. Illusion, hang on.
Uh,
Rolling stock.
No, anyway, we need to wrap up the show because we've got a post show to do, assuming that folks want to be a part of it. If you want to be a part of our show, you can join us at theironhorseman.com/discord. Anyone with their fan rank is welcome to join the show at any time to talk about the news and whatever else. To begin wrapping the show, of course, we have to do the latest train on Amtrak, so I'll take one guess, and Brian, since you're still here, I'll let you throw in a guess as well. I know you're not necessarily all up on all the American trains.
I mean, true, but at the same time, last podcast when I was an audience member, I had in fact said the correct answer.
Well,
I
let's
said
say
it.
if you got the
Fuck it.
correct answer this time.
I'm going to go for some variance. I'm not going to say the Eastbound Empire Builder again, because that would be too easy, though it'd be funny for the third time in a row. The Chief would also be way too easy, so... Crap, what's that one north-south train?
The city of New Orleans?
Not that one, the... like, Texas something.
Oh, the
Texas
Texas
Eagle?
Eagle.
I'm gonna say southbound Texas Eagle if there is one on the map.
There is. Jader, do you have a pick?
Eastbound Lakeshore Limited.
Eastbound Lakeshore Unlimited. East is muted. East, last chance to get in on latest train on Amtrak.
Northbound Floridian.
Northbound Floridian. Let's start with that. Not 9 minutes late at Martinsburg, West Virginia is the Northbound Floridian. There's actually a second one on system, which is 2 minutes early at Orlando, Florida. The Texas Eagle, the southbound Texas Eagle, is 9 minutes late at Taylor, Texas, and 18 minutes late at Springfield, Illinois. Jader, you wanted the Lakeshore Limited. Eastbound?
Yeah.
Oops, that's the Maple Leaf. Where is the Lakeshore Limited? There it is, the Lakeshore Limited to Boston, on time at Springfield, Mass. Was its last stop. It's almost here. Let me see if I can find an honorable mention. There's an honorable mention. The Coast Starlight to Seattle, 6 hours and 6 minutes late at Shemelt, Oregon.
I was considering the Coast Starlight.
It would have been a good guess, but it still wouldn't have been correct. There are two service-disrupted Coast Starlights, one that's 12 minutes late and one that is 35 minutes late. Always worth throwing in a service disruption. There's a 1 hour and 3 minute late Acela to Washington, which is currently at BWI. And a 1 hour and 40 minute late Blue Water to Port Huron.
I keep forgetting the Blue Water exists.
Which has barely made it out of Chicago. It's basically still in the station. It looks like it broke down before it got to leave.
Sounds like my experience on the California Zephyr 2 years ago.
Unfortunate. But, however, irrespective of where'd it go? It just disappeared off the map. What
It's
happened?
been canceled.
What happened? There was
Dead.
an eastbound. Where'd it go? I'm not tripping. I swear to God. It just disappeared off the map. There was an eastbound Empire Builder that was
Oh no.
9 hours late, and now
It
it has
Again?
terminated in
disappeared.
Minneapolis.
Oh, did it? Okay, it just
Yes.
dropped off the map. Well, that means that the Coast Starlight is the latest train on Amtrak, so that would have been it. That
So you're telling me that by some divine intervention, we don't have a third consecutive
no,
instance?
we don't have a three-peat because the train was so bad it got canceled.
Ouch.
Unfortunate.
Like, at what point are they going? Are they just going to be like, crap? What was the other train other than the Empire Builder? I believe it was the Northern Pacific one.
The North Coast Hiawatha?
No, that was Milwaukee.
Oh, that was Milwaukee. That's right.
Northern Pacific had a train that was equivalent to the Empire Builder.
Main Streeter, I think. North Coast Limited.
North Coast Limited.
One of
You
those.
sure?
I don't
Hang
know.
on.
Why are they calling it
North-
North Coast? What coast is up there?
Canada.
The forgotten northern coast of the U.S., the Canadian coast. I guess there is a coast if you go far enough north.
Exactly.
Do you see that?
Yeah,
It looks like a strange ocean liner sailing on a frozen sea.
No, it's just Winnipeg.
Okay, so it was the North Coast Limited.
But okay, hold on. I'm putting this entry into the log at Shimolt, Oregon. I don't even know that's how you pronounce it. Milky, if you're watching this, you can come on the podcast next time and yell at me about how I'm mispronouncing places from Oregon, because it's a national pastime for me at this point.
He's gonna make you Oregon.
At some point, the feds are going to have to put their foot down and demand proper passenger train service from taxpayers' money and hold railroads and Amtrak accountable. Well, Amtrak is sure trying with the money they're given. You're going to have to hold the Class 1s accountable, and the problem is the Class 1s are, the U.S. government is subservient to the railroads. Always has been.
Hey, that is good news though, because if more intrusions happen, then eventually you will see a moment where the U.S. government is subservient to Canadian companies.
It's oopsie.
Because Canadian National and CPKC will take over everything.
Yeah, I can't wait for the CN UPNS merger.
No,
all right,
it's gonna be
how do I-
CNSF.
CNSF. Nice. Okay.
Because that was originally going to happen in 2000. BNSF was going to merge with CN, but then they decided against it.
Well, now that Warren Buffett's gone,
Yes, that could be a
there
possibility.
we go.
And then CPKC will merge with CSX, and everything will be right in the world.
And then the
UPNS
two
will be left to
Canadian
fend for
companies
themselves.
will merge together, and we'll get Canadian Squared, and that'll be the entire railroad name. Now, let me say that we are back in the new year. We should expect a return to regular Thursday streams, under construction, Monday videos, Transport Fever. This on Sundays, I actually put the event in for a repeating event for the first time. So if we can start doing this on a regular basis, then we can start doing it on a regular basis. And this also marks the return of the Loco games regularly. Hopefully, they'll be always following the show. And of course, check out all of the links in the description. Thank you for watching. Like and comment and subscribe and, those sort of things. It kills me to say it, but you do have to say it. I'm sorry. And thanks to you guys for coming on. Thanks to Steve and Wes for the Loco base. Wouldn't have the Loco games or the trading cards without them. Thanks to Virtual Rail Fan for not sending us a cease and desist, although I think this is not a Virtual Rail Fan cam. Who runs this cam, East?
A local guy. I don't know his name, but he's local.
Well, thanks to that local guy for not sending us a cease and desist, and of course the train will terminate at this station. We'll see you all for the